We turn now to breaking news out of Springfield, where an explosion at a scrap metal manufacturing plant sent several people to the hospital with injuries this morning. And joining us to tell us more about that is Western Mass reporter Glenn Kittle, joining us live in Springfield with the latest details. Glenn, what can you tell us?
David, fire investigators say that 3 employees suffered minor injuries after an explosion at the Joseph Friedman Company earlier this morning. The call came in around 8 a.m. and according to the Joseph Friedman Company website, they have 2 locations. This explosion occurred at their Albany Street location. The cause of the explosion is under investigation, and we spoke with Springfield Fire Department Captain Drew Pamonte. He tells Western Mass News more details about the response from first responders.
First thing we do is security utilities so we don't have a secondary explosion, and then we go in and assess the structural stability of the building to make sure that it's still structurally capable of standing and it's safe to operate in.
We reached out to the Joseph Friedman Company. They tell us that they shut down operations at the Albany Street location for the day, and they say that they're going to be resuming the day as normal tomorrow morning. Reporting live in Springfield, Glenn Kittle, Western Mass News.